Welcome to Raiders of the Lost Podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast.
We are your hosts, James
And Anthony.
Welcome to Movie News. Let's talk about all the latest developments in film and TV.
Hello, movie friends. Welcome back to the show. Hope you had a great week. It is a jam-packed week of news the last few days.
So much to talk about.
I have to do the news. Let's start with the box office.
Oh, dude, it's been a pretty good one. So Halloween Ends opened to $43 million this weekend.
That means it's not over.
It's not going to be over. If you've seen the movie, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I don't think this franchise is going to end, even though Halloween
Not
ends.
if it's making that much. It just tripled its budget in one weekend.
Because the budget was $35 million. And
oh, was it?
I think it's something like that. Because there's even the
Jamie
last
Lee's got to get paid.
Jeez Louise, 43 million box office. Smile pulled another 12 million this weekend, and it's grossed over $100 million worldwide at the box office. 70 million domestic. Lao Lao Crocodile pulled another 7.2 million. The Woman King pulled another 3.7 million. Amsterdam pulled another 2.9. That's added 12 million 2-week box office. Whew. Don't Worry Darling pulled another 2. Barbarian another 1.3 million. Terrifier 2 opened a second weekend just at 700 theaters. It's pulled in almost $1 million, 800,000 box office. It's up to 2.2 million.
That looks insane.
Yeah, the trailers look insane. It's supposed to be really good. I want to check it out.
I heard about it.
But $2 million in 2 weeks in less than 1,000 theaters, that's pretty damn good.
It's impressive.
And Terrifier 1 came out in 2000, I think, 16, something like that. Top Gun pulled another 680,000, so that's still in theaters. It's up to 715 million box office domestic alone. Insane.
What a monster.
Now let's get into the news, starting off with a couple of sad stories. First off,
Robbie Coltrane has passed away. The UK icon, and American audiences know him mostly for playing Hagrid, playing the role of Hagrid in Harry Potter. And I think for the first couple of films, he's probably the second most important character.
The first two, absolutely.
Because he is the guide to the Wizarding World for the audience and for both Harry. And he embodied the character perfectly. But he was a veteran UK actor, comedian. We had never seen him before, except for in that James Bond movie.
The Pierce Brosnan one.
But he was a long-standing actor in the UK for a while.
Plus, he's in great little films, great cameos in movies. Ocean's 12, he's got a cameo in that. He's really great in it. But he's just a great UK comedian actor, and what a loss. But he'll live on forever, especially in the Harry Potter world, and is such a loved character as Hagrid. And obviously, we're all gonna miss him so much. Moving on to some more bad news. Blade, as we predicted, has paused production. They completely shut it down. They haven't even, because they were supposed to begin filming in like 2 weeks, which is nuts. So they are going to look for a director, and I think they're finally admitting that they are rewriting and reworking the entire script. I don't even think they're sure they want to do the 1920s setting, because I think it was going to bounce between 1920s and contemporary, modern day. But now I think they're like, should we even do the 1920s?
For me, when I think of Blade, you got to have the cool gadgets. You got to have the cool sunglasses, the whole wardrobe, and then you gotta have his cool muscle car.
Yeah,
these are it's like
he's not a chariot.
I don't want to see him riding a horse.
Or just like an old, timey, 1920s car.
He's got like old spectacles on. I do not want to see that. Part of Blade's, it's like Batman. Like, why would you make Batman in the 1920s?
Plus, I mean,
what would his Batmobile be?
I'm not sure when Blade. Well, in the movies, he's contemporary.
I believe in the comic books, he's always contemporary.
But he lives a long time.
He was made in New York in like the 1990s, I believe, 1980s, 1990s.
When he was born, or something like that, or 1980s. But the thing with Blade is, doesn't he need the serum to prevent himself from becoming a vampire? Yep. Can you develop that in the 1920s medicine? I don't know. I guess with a super smart person,
I don't know.
They did things like that with, I guess, Wonder Woman. With the scientists, I don't know. I think
not in the 20s.
I think this movie's doomed. And
did they even have antiseptic anesthesia?
They had stuff.
A couple of, they were experimenting back then.
They're still doing lobotomies in the 19 like.
Oh yeah,
10s.
but I'm talking about like intense biology and chemistry.
They were working on it. They had some stuff brewing.
They could have made a serum.
Get it brewing. But I think Blade's gonna be doomed. I feel bad for Mahershala Ali, who signed on 4 years ago to be Blade. That's when he was announced. The guy is almost 50 years old, and if this movie doesn't come out until 2024, you're starting an action franchise with a 50-year-old. Yeah, the guy's in ridiculously good shape, and a lot of like actors in Hollywood, like 50s, like the new 30 and 35. But I mean, Wesley Snipes was 35, 36 when he was Blade, and I mean, this is why they don't cast James Bond as a 50-year-old nowadays. I'm not sure if he wants to be doing this when he's in his 50s, because I feel bad. The guy probably has taken 6 months to get in ridiculous shape for this movie.
I'm sure he planned to sign. He signed on for like several pictures, so I'm sure he's planning to do it in his 50s.
Yeah, but
this is just a delay of a year.
He probably expected to start it 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like he's like, oh no, I can't do it now.
No, I'm not saying that.
But what the problem is, what a waste of his time.
Yeah,
because he was planning. He probably had 6 months for this booked, and now
he probably trained his ass off for this movie.
But also, like, he could have, like, if he had filmed, he could have done other projects. This is going to affect him because maybe he committed or wanted to do a really great project right after filming Blade, but now Blade's taking over that spot, so it probably messed up his schedule really badly.
It's a disaster, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I think it's just gonna be doomed, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe in a year, if there are more delays and more frustrations from Mahershala, if he ends up dropping out. I wouldn't be surprised.
We'll see.
Would not be surprised.
There's some DC news that's actually pretty positive. The first positive story from DC in a while. Black Adam early reactions apparently are really terrific. A lot of people are saying that it is the best DC entry in a while.
That's what they've said for every one of them.
Also, a lot of people were calling it a game changer. I saw so many headlines saying game changer. I'm like, these are clickbait headlines. Like, how could it be a game changer?
They said, all the same headlines run for when there was like, it was Wonder Woman 1984, when it was the Suicide Squad, every time, or Justice League, every time there's a new DC movie, the best since Man of Steel.
Yeah, but how is this a game changer? It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's because it's going to be brutal, people are saying, and he's going to be a great anti-hero.
It better be brutal.
I hope he's just murking dudes.
Yeah, we're going to do a review on it the Thursday after it airs.
The 27th.
Yeah.
I believe that's the date for that Thursday. It comes out this week, so early screenings, obviously you can go see it on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. Also, the big rumor is Henry Cavill back as the Man of Steel in Black Adam. I think that it's kind of a mistake that they're teasing this like crazy. The Rock's done a couple interviews where he's like teasing, like obviously saying that
this is all PR.
Superman's
back. This is PR moves. Like I think they're a little desperate to have a huge box office weekend, and they want people to go see this movie because I think they were maybe worried about the projections that they were seeing for this film, because I think a lot of people are superheroed out. And I think they needed. It's the same thing like Marvel's been doing to get people excited about future projects by having Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman sign on for Deadpool 3. I think they realized we need to have a huge box office this weekend. We took a lot of L's at Warner Bros. In DC this year. Let's just tease that Superman's in this movie. I'm worried that it's just going to be a post-credit scene because I'm not sure how involved he was in the production. Because remember, a year ago or less, or he was fired.
He was fired on his birthday from being Superman. So was he even?
And
part
Black
of
Adam had been done production.
Did they do reshoots or secret reshoots? I'm not sure. So I'm curious if Superman's going to actually be in the movie or just like a post-credit scene.
I agree. I think they're just trying to hook an audience, and by teasing a post-credit scene, which is pretty like, come on.
But it's great news.
It should be a surprise though.
It should. It would be.
It should be like No Way Home. They always denied everything about anyone asked a question if all three are in it. Everyone denied it, and I liked that. Because it wasn't confirmed. Whereas this, they're like, oh yeah, he's definitely gonna fight Superman.
I think the ultimate marketing tool for a movie or TV series is word of mouth, and I think the word of mouth would have been buzzing like crazy. Like that's how small budget films that's how Top Gun's made. It's still in theaters because of word of mouth is so good on that movie, and that movie won't ever leave the movie theaters this year because everyone loves it. It's been out for 187 days or something like that. But I'm excited. I hope Henry Cavill is really coming back as Superman. That's amazing news. We're definitely going to see Black Adam this week. Cannot wait to check it out. Hopefully it's as good as people are saying out of these early reactions. Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Next up, some Martin Scorsese news. Now, usually we don't like TV series adaptations of films. The news story is that Gangs of New York is being turned into a TV series, but the creator of Gangs of New York, the director, Martin Scorsese, is producing and directing the first 2 episodes. So I think that if you're going to make an adaptation, it's a great thing that the actual creator of the film is making the TV series. Plus it's Marty. It's like what he did with Boardwalk Empire, did the first 2 episodes. A lot like Fincher did that with Mindhunter, and then he ended up showrunning the entire show. Yeah. But so it's not going to be necessarily an origin story. It won't have like Bill the Butcher, we don't think, in it. It's because according to Scorsese, this is such like a rich world
There's so many other characters
in America. So many interesting characters and stories to tell. And actually, in 2013, a different television adaptation of Gangs of New York was in development with Scorsese attached. That series would have explored crime and gangs that existed in other cities, such as Chicago and New Orleans during the 1800s. Scorsese seems to have a large interest in crime during the 18 and 1900s, since he was an executive producer on Boardwalk Empire and is also currently attached to produce Devil in the White City. So I think he just has so many ideas for stories. That'd be cool to bounce around different cities outside of the 4 points of New York.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we know it so well. Now, Halloween Ends had its premiere this week, and like we said, opened to a huge box office for $43 million this weekend. I'm not sure if it's going to actually end, because
it's not going to end.
The studio's going to, they know this movie.
If your movie makes $100 million, you're going to get a sequel.
It'll probably pull 100 mil, so I don't think it's going to end.
Next up, Park Chan-wook's new film, Decision to Leave, has just premiered in America. It's on a limited release right now, but it's going to be expanding next week and the week after. So if it's not playing in a city near you, be patient, and I'm sure it'll be coming out to bigger chain theaters as the month continues. We're going to see it on Friday.
Check your AMCs in your local areas. In Los Angeles, they're playing at Century City, and somewhere else, another AMC. So there's only really 2 theaters playing it right now this weekend in LA. I think we're going to try to see it as soon as possible because we love that guy's film so much. Next up, there's going to be a Naked Gun reboot starring Liam Neeson. I'm not sure how they're going to make this. I know Liam's a funny guy. You know, he does some comedic roles and he's got some chops.
But being so slapstick, I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to be the same kind of style of humor, because they can't. What Leslie Mann did with those movies was genius, and he's such a great comedian.
It was him, yeah.
But that kind of humor does not work anymore. It's too offensive, I think. So they're probably going to have to change it up a little bit, but still keep like the silly, dumb protagonist hero at the same time.
He has to be dumb.
Yeah.
He has to be an idiot that still gets the job done. That's the whole point.
I'm sure they did tests and it probably works. So
I mean, I don't know about tests, but he's famous as hell.
I'm super curious.
Liam gets a box office still. He's still a draw. Next up, there's actually a really fun-looking Christmas musical called Spirited, starring both Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. I remember they announced it like earlier this year, and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. But the trailer looks very charming and very funny.
They filmed it in Boston, too.
Oh, yeah, in Boston, guy. But it looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to check it out. I think it's playing in Netflix, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Barbarella is going to get remade, because why not? This is going to start...
Yeah, because it's so loved.
Because it's gonna star Sydney Sweeney, the original star Jane Fonda, obviously, the icon. And if you don't know anything about Barbarella, Barbarella is an astronaut from the 41st century on a space adventure to stop evil, basically. So I'm guessing it'll probably look a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's really hot right now.
It's like, I bet it will look like Dune / Mad Max.
I think it'll look more like Guardians.
Yeah, probably. They'll have a classic rock song in the trailer.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm going to save this clip and still when the trailer comes out if we're right.
Speaking of Dune, Dune the Sisterhood begins filming for HBO Max next month. This is a distant prequel to the movie and book
Origins.
Dune. So this will show their reportedly...
Dune origin.
It's the Sisterhood origin. So it's set 10,000 years before the events of Dune and focuses on the Harkonnen sisters as they combat forces that threaten humanity's future and the origins of the Bene Gesserit order.
So the formation of the Bene Gesserit, and I wonder, are Harkonnen women bald as well?
I doubt it. I mean, I don't want to spoil things for characters in the Dune franchise that are Harkonnen that aren't bald, but they're not all bald.
Okay, good.
I think they just did that for the aesthetic for the film.
It looked great in the movie.
For the Harkonnens, where they are, like the pure blood, the pure Harkonnen bloodline. I think they're going bald with the movie, just to separate them.
I can't wait to see Austin Butler bald.
Dude, I can't wait.
I'm so curious what his character's design is going to look like.
After seeing Elvis, I knew he was a great choice for Dune to be Feyd-Rautha, but after seeing Elvis, I'm like, I cannot wait to see a trailer or something soon, because they're filming
I can't
right
wait
now.
to see him knife fighting, man.
It's gonna be
awesome. I bet he's gonna do great combat.
Feyd-Rautha, he's in the first half of the book, but I think it was a good decision to move him to the second movie.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about that. Next up, did you see this trailer?
I did not.
For M3GAN, spelled
3?
M3GAN, M3GAN trailer. So it's a new horror doll movie. It's basically
I saw a poster.
It's basically Chucky, except for it's about this young girl whose parents die in an accident, and then I think it's her aunt starts to take care of her and takes her in, but she's having, social issues. She's depressed. She's not fitting in. And so there's this new android on the market that can help your kids with depression and anxiety, and like basically be a friend to your child who is not making friends and stuff like that at school and around. And basically, this is like a humanoid android. It looks like a person, except it's a robot. However, it starts to get sinister and starts murking people. It looks really creepy. Even though it's a ripoff of Chucky in Child's Play, it looks pretty good. And it's already going viral. There's this like dance moves that it's doing in the trailer, and it's a GIF all over Twitter.
Oh my God, it's going to be a TikTok dance. That's genius.
I think it's
Why is there a 3 in the M3GAN name?
Because technology, man. Bro, you're just not a tech guy, all right?
Speaking of TV, She-Hulk and Rings of Power both had their season finales this past week. Apparently, fans are happy with both shows. I looked a little online on social media. We haven't been watching either show, but I heard that the She-Hulk finale was actually really good. And
Wildly meta, I heard.
Yeah, and then Rings of Power had a big reveal, revealing who Sauron was, and fans apparently are very happy with him.
I bet Sauron was the little girl hobbit. Just kidding. I mean, Harfoot.
Yeah, man. She's not a hobbit.
She's a Harfoot.
How dare you?
Moving on to Harrison Ford was just cast in the MCU. He will be playing Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in the Thunderbolts, and he'll now be known as Marvel star Harrison Ford.
Succession season 4 is in production right now. Succession.
You definitely said sex.
Yes. Succession. It's going.
Anthony has sex
with ladies.
Nice.
But Succession season 4 is underway with production, and they're actually filming a lot in Norway, so we have a change of geography for the show. Maybe it'll have something to do with Alexander Skarsgård's character, who is a new ally and business partner for the Roys. And so I think they're trying to maybe possibly court him some more. Maybe some bad stuff happened. They're trying to repair.
Some bad stuff.
Try not to swear.
They're getting that partnership. So
Yeah.
it seems like that's the reason why, because he's going to be a main player.
Yeah.
Even though he was
teased.
He was in a decent amount of.
Yeah.
He had a good amount of screen
two
time.
episodes. He had good time.
He's an important character that they built up for the last season, but I think he's going to be a very important character for season 4. Cannot wait to check that out.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone and Bear Grylls team up for an entitled adventure series. Stallone will executive produce via his Balboa Productions. It's going to be a fiction show?
It's going to be... No, I believe it's going to be...
Boxing in the wild. You have to like box a bear.
80-year-old surviving. 80-year-old versus wild.
I just kept hitting the tree. I kept, I hit the tree. Adrian.
90-year-old versus wild.
Yeah. Me in the snow. I saw the glacier, so I just like started punching the glacier. And I was hitting.
What's the problem?
What's the problem? What's the problem? Don't you like me, Adrian?
What's the problem? Don't you like me?
Yo, Bear, we did it!
Yo, Spider. Next up, Trevor Noah is actually retiring from The Daily Show. He's been the host for several years now. It's kind of fast how time flies by. I remember it felt like just last year he took over, but it's been a while. And his last episode is going to be on January 17th, so they're going to have to pick a new host. I'm curious who it will be.
I wonder what he's going to do after this.
He'll get his own show.
I bet you he gets a late night show.
Not
on Comedy Central.
I think so too. He's definitely going to have his own show.
I could see him doing.
He's great at it.
Yeah, I think he could do one of those. Moving on to...
It'll be like John Oliver.
I would say give that guy a late night show, not a streaming show, not like an HBO show.
Well, no, but I'm talking about political news comedy.
True, I guess.
I think he could do something like John Oliver.
I guess, yeah. No, yeah, that's basically what he does already.
Yeah.
Moving on to The Wicker Man, set for TV adaptation from Andy Serkis' production company, The Imaginarium, which obviously we all know is like the foremost.
What? Just laughing at yet another TV show adaptation of a great movie.
Imaginarium, they're known for their mocap work, obviously with the Star Wars, Planet of the Apes, all those franchises. So they'll partner with Urban Myth Films to bring this series to life.
Speaking of TV series adaptations, Mark Wahlberg's film Fear.
My God,
getting a TV show
anyone
adaptation.
Write anything else again? They're literally just going through alphabetical order of. No, I feel like they're taking their entire film catalogs and throwing darts. Like, all right, that's where we're gonna make a TV series this year.
Now, Fear is a pretty good movie. Reese Witherspoon's also in it. She's the lead character, and she starts dating Mark Wahlberg, and he ends up becoming a psycho, very dangerous, violent guy with sinister motives. It's a good thriller. William Peterson plays her dad. He's great in it. Grissom.
Yeah.
But to make it a TV series, I'm not sure. I mean, how
But do you have to call it Fear? You can make a movie like a show like this.
It's not like it's like a famous property.
It's not.
It's not like people are like, oh my god, I can't wait to see the Fear adaptation.
The Wicker Man, I get because people know
it's
of
a really
they know
big,
of it, even if they haven't
It's like
seen
a brand, The Wicker Man. Like people, it's very famous, but Fear is not very famous. I find it's just like, I think every studio in NBC here is just like, what do we have for our library? Okay, TV series, TV series, TV series, TV series. It's pretty silly.
It's the world we're in, man.
I feel like every time we do the news, there's like 3 or 4 new TV adaptations of movies.
At least there's more that we didn't even add on.
Yeah,
here, man.
there are.
There's just too many to talk about. Oh my goodness. But I mean, there was still plenty of cool news. I think. I think the Dune sister news is really cool.
Of course, you would think that.
It's awesome. Gangs in New York is cool. I don't know what. Yeah. Anyways, Black Adam this week. We'll be checking that out.
Decision to Leave.
Yeah. See Smile if you haven't already. We're gonna do a mini review of it. So have you seen it yet?
Not yet.
You gotta get on it, bro.
Maybe I'll go tomorrow.
It's so damn good. It might be my favorite horror movie of the year.
Okay, I'll have to check
really,
it out.
Really good.
Check it out.
It's
we
really
saw Tar yesterday, and it was
Tar is
fantastic. Fantastic.
Exceptional. Thanks for tuning in to Movie News this week. For episodes coming up tomorrow, we have an episode on Harry Potter rankings. I mean,
yeah. I forgot about that
We
one.
had George Carmi in studio.
Movies and Stuff 14. What's up, George?
We dressed up in costumes. Anthony had a phenomenal Dumbledore costume.
Thanks,
you gotta
man.
tune in. I couldn't stop laughing while we were filming. He looked terrific on camera too.
Thanks.
I was Snape. I pulled it off. I combed my hair. George was Harry Potter. It was a lot of fun. Then the Thursday after Monday, we have an episode on, what did you edit?
Scream Queens.
Scream Queens. That's right.
We did ranking of all the Scream
Queens, aka the final girls from horror movies. So that was a lot of fun because there's so many icons in the horror genre. So that's a blast. And then we got Black Adam after that, and we'll do a modern horror movie episode on Monday following that. And then Halloween, we got something special planned for you guys.
See you next time, everyone. Take care. Jinx. You owe me a Coke.
What? Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, notifications for sure. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, and be sure to check out this other content we have on our YouTube channel.